Get knocked, Sparta! No hug needed!
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're waiting here for Conor Benn versus Van Heerden, live on DAZN tomorrow night. I'm joined by the new IBF World Champion, Ebanie Bridges. How are you, mate?
I'm good. You know, that has a real nice ring to it, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm good.
So, how's the hand?
The hand is better than it was last week and better than it was after the fight, but it still needs a lot of rest. I'm seeing a surgeon next week. And then we'll get a better understanding of where I'm at with it.
Okay, I was going to ask you what's next, but there's a man over there that can maybe help with this as well. Do you think?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Well, get his attention. Eddie Hearn's over there. Edward. What? Hold on.
Both warriors.
Yeah, he's a warrior.
Right, look, guys, that's the shot there. Can you try and come into it a little bit?
You just like get my head.
No, you got to go back. That's it. Yeah, Eddie, how's your injury before we ask about Ebony's?
Two warriors.
I really want to.
Two warriors.
Okay.
So what happened was I sparred Frank Smith,
yeah.
hit him on the elbow twice. My finger was completely mangled, and 2 days ago I went to a specialist because it's been killing me since, and they x-rayed it, and it's basically a clean snap. So I've got to have an operation, embarrassingly, with screws and a wire going through it. It's like really embarrassing, and all over Frank Smith. Like,
that's what you get.
Dangerous, to be fair, though.
you know, this is what happens in the game. You just got to roll with it, and you got to be tough. Like, you know, Ebony's got more of a minor one, obviously, but.
You know, I like
not
that
as
he
serious
didn't
as his finger injury,
You
but
know what? I'm impressed you didn't quit. You know, you still beat you.
Done another
Did you?
3 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You didn't.
Broke
That's
my
what I
finger
mean.
and done
Kept
another 3
going.
rounds.
Kept
Kept
going.
throwing it as well.
Beating him
Kept
up.
throwing it,
You know. Look, no
It's a tough
problem.
fight. It's a tough fight against Frank with a top knot and 5'4" or whatever it is.
Should challenge the heavyweights now.
Well, unfortunately, I got to retire.
Oh, yeah.
people would pay for that. People would pay for that. Let's jump straight to it. We've spoken about this before. We know Shannan Courtney's potential rematch there with Jamie Mitchell. You've said to me before that you feel like the fight really is between the rematch between Ebanie and Shannan ahead of that.
Well, it's probably the money fight. Like, you know, I think obviously Ebony's in a great position now. She's won a world title. For me, it's all about unifying when you become a world champion. It's what every champion wants to do. So there's an option. I know that Ebony's very keen on the Dina Thorslund fight, you know, and also potentially Jamie Mitchell fight as well. I would like to see her have a defence in the summer and then either unify or take the Shannan Courtney fight if the business makes sense for her, because I will go to her and say, this is the money for unifying, this is the money for Shannan Courtney, and then it will be down to her to make the decision as champion, you know, but she's in a brilliant position.
Dina obviously won at the weekend. See a bit of back and forth on Twitter between LeeEaton and you guys, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I saw somewhere where she was saying something about there being, you know, an exciting fight because there's 2 blonde bombers, and I had to say there's only 1 blonde bomber. But no, and then LeeEaton came along with it. You know, of course, everyone's hungry. I feel like I got a real big target on my back. I feel like I had one already. But now I've got a belt that, you know, it's really, I feel like everyone wants to fight me. So, I mean, it's really my pick, I think, and just what makes sense, like what Eddie said, you know, it is business in the end, and I think I'd like to fight them all, you know what I mean? And that's a great fight, just like the Jamie Mitchell's a great fight, the Luna fights, it's all good for me. They're all belts that I want to get.
What's in it for you to rematch Shannan now? What's in it for you? Because you've lost to her, is that the only reason?
Oh, yeah, I mean, well, right now, she doesn't have a belt, so that kind of sucks, do you know what I mean? I probably don't really want to give her that straight away, to be fair. But in it for me is obviously redemption, but also for the fans. I'll fight for the fans. You know, it's a huge fight that everyone wants to see. And I think I beat her. It's a good build-up. It's everything about that fight's exciting.
Don't go nice though in the build-up.
I have not been nice once.
No, but
I've been getting worse.
good. Okay, that's good.
Except for the one thing I defended her, but you know, like there's a reason we're not friends, you know, and that's not going to change. But no, honestly, like it's a good fight. It's a good fight for the fans, and I believe I blitz her in the next fight. So I have no problems fighting her.
If there is a rematch, is the momentum with Ebanie now?
Because Shannon's lost all momentum, but be fair, she's had an injury, she's had operation. Probably shouldn't have taken the Mitchell fight, looking back, but lost her belt in the process. So she's got a contractual rematch with Jamie Mitchell if she wants that. She does need a comeback fight. She needs an 8-rounder, I think, end of June, end of July, and that's when I think Ebanie will have her first defence as well. So after that, it will really be down to Ebanie. And to be fair, when they boxed before, it was a vacant title, but Shannan accepted the fight to fight Ebanie. Ebanie accepted the fight. It's quite late notice, I think, for Ebanie in terms of getting the kind of camp that she has now. But the momentum at the moment is with Ebanie Bridges, and it's a good fight. In fact, we will announce later today that Ellie Scottney will fight Cecilia Roman on May 21st, and you'll see how tough a fight. That is a very tough fight for Ellie Scottney, because before obviously Ebanie beat her, Roman was the longest reigning champion in the division, and arguably the number one in the division as well. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Ellie Scottney gets on against Roman, who's a very good fighter, and Ebanie done a great job that night.
That's a very interesting fight. Before your fight with Roman, a lot of people in boxing thought that this was going to be a bridge too far. Yeah? For you.
You said to me
what
that
did I say?
You said that Ebanie's got no chance in the fight, and I said I disagree. But
did that really happen?
Yeah,
were the underdog, though.
Yeah, of course I was the underdog. A lot of people doubted. I had a lot of doubters. I constantly have doubters. I mean, even after the Gengor fight, people judging me on that fight. I had a broken hand from the second round. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a tough.
Feel the pain.
It's tough.
She'd done another 6 rounds after that. Only done another 2. So.
But it is tough, and I did have Ellie Scottney calling me out after that, but I haven't heard a peep from her since my last fight. So it'll be really interesting to see how she goes with Cecilia, and that's another fight that one day I'd happy to have. Realistically, there's any fight for me, and I do believe that it's really my picking. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. But I want to have good fights.
We need to make sure that we got those rivalries for the next couple of years. Like you talk about, obviously Taylor Serrano, but then you've got Baumgardner against Mayer, great fight. Shields against Marshall, great fight. Ebanie against Shannan, great fight. Maybe Ebanie against Ellie Scottney as well down the line. There's Rachel Ball. Does she ever come back? We need those fights.
Okay, so from we've got loads of world champion women boxers, from Jonas to Rankin to Cameron Taylor. Ebanie's up there. Is she up there with the likes of who we're talking about?
She's built her profile in such a way that outside of Taylor and Serrano, and she's right up there in terms of following, in terms of social numbers, in terms of attention. But now we've always knew she could fight, and we always know that she's 100% dedicated. But now she's world champion, which is a game changer when you build that profile. So it's going to be really interesting to go from here.
I'm pretty sure I showed some pretty good skills in that fight too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
it's not just about the profile anymore, Eddie.
No, but I said now you're a world champion. I said now you're a world champion, and that's the difference. Before you could always have the argument of people going, "Oh, is she how serious does she take it?" We knew from the inside how serious she takes it, but now she's beaten one of the best in the division. So you can't really argue about the ability. We know she's got the commitment and she's got the profile. So it's the perfect mix, and now it's all down to her, because she's going to get all the big opportunities for big fights, and I think she's going to keep getting better under Mark Tibbs as well.
Finally, you're getting better at the weightings. I would just give you your praise for that. The weightings, you're nailing them down to a T, mate.
No, mate, he didn't even put them sunglasses on. What a party pooper. I gave him sunglasses so he didn't have to look awkward, and he just puts them in his pocket.
That wouldn't have looked awkward. That's great. Right, thank you. Yeah, there you go.
The weight's about to kick off. Ben Van Heerden live on the Zone tomorrow night. Billum Smith against McCarthy. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you.
Right.
You get knocked, Sparta. No hug needed.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.